All right. Very good morning. Very good evening. Hope you guys can see my screen and can able to hear my voice. Can somebody confirm on that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Great. 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 Thanks for confirmation. First of all, I'm sorry that my voice is not that clear because of throat infection. I'll be little slow, and then whenever you are unable to understand, please comment me here. Right. So bear with me for my voice is not that clear. All right. With that, welcome to this Oracle administration demo sessions. Today and tomorrow are going to be two demo sessions. What I'm going to do in these 2 days, I'll be explaining about the course curriculum, course structure, and what are the course fees, course timings, and followed by some questions and answers, and what is needed for this particular course. And with that, our regular classes will be getting started from this coming Monday. Right. So with that, what I'm going to do now, I will start with the today introduction about myself, my experience, my expertise area, and where I have been passionate about this Oracle trainings and Oracle field, and then how my journey started. Uh, I'm your instructor. There's no third person who is teaching this course. I am the one who will be covering this entire course, starting from the scratch till the advanced level, and then we'll start with the course curriculum and understanding what is covered and what is not covered, and the fees and timing will cover quickly, and followed by some other important aspect about the Google Drive, WhatsApp group, and payment and prerequisites and some of the basic concept. We'll try to cover it in today's and tomorrow's session. Right. So by this time, you all will be aware about me, where most of you guys might be following on my LinkedIn, YouTube, and you might be following my blog. This is Mallikarjun. I'm your instructor. We'll be having around 15 years of experience in this Oracle domain. Uh, After my graduation, I started my career with iGet Global Solution as a junior DBA, and followed by worked in Oracle, Exa Group, Wipro, and Rubrik, and so many other organizations, which includes your the various sectors, finance and e-commerce. And with this 15 years of experience, I worked on majority of the projects. Starting some of the key projects in my career are building a entire data center for one of the insurance company, and one other project was migrating the database from on-premises to cloud. And the other important project in my career was migrating entire data center from New Jersey to Washington DC. There are so many other projects also we had done it in my career, but these are three highlight or key project I would like to mention. One is the data center built from the scratch. Other one is the data center migration from one location to other location, physical location. And the other major project was migration databases from on-premises to cloud. So apart from that, there's so many other project migration from different platform, setting up of the Exadata environment, and so many other projects. So, but yeah, so with this 15 years of experience, I spent my almost all career in the Oracle world, meaning I am passionate about the Oracle products. I used to learn different Oracle flavors, Oracle products, and then I would like to explore more and more, you know, the stuffs in Oracle. Nothing apart from Oracle world. Meaning, I started as a junior DBA. I learned everything about the database, database architecture, administration stuffs, and followed by I enhanced my skills. I learned rack skills. I started working as a rack expert and supporting the rack databases, administration, maintenance, backup, restore, recovery of rack database, and followed by data guard expert, where started supporting with the data guard and other things, and followed by started exploring more and more Oracle product, Oracle engineering system like Oracle ODA machine, Oracle Exadata, Oracle Supercluster, Oracle Exalogic, and Oracle OEM, Oracle Golden Gate, and Oracle EBS, Oracle OBI, Oracle PeopleSoft, Oracle Zoha. Right, there are so many Oracle products. So I started exploring all of them, and then I learned everything about them. Started supporting to the client on this area. Right, so that is my primary skills, primary focus area. So being as a Oracle DBA, I would like to be in this Oracle world. So being in this competition world, you have to keep learning the things. Then only you will be up to date in the market and you will get a lot of opportunities. So just learning Oracle DBA, just learning Oracle Rack, that's not enough in this current market. You have to keep learning the things and keep expanding your knowledge. Right. So that is about my overall journey, how I started after my graduation, and then I was sticking to this Oracle world. So, having said that, I just mentioned Oracle as my primary skills. So, with that, I'm fascinated and I'm keep learning different flavors, different concept and different products within the Oracle. With that, I did not limited myself to the Oracle domain. Whenever I get a chance or opportunity to learn the other products, I took the challenge and then I explored those and also certified with them and also supported those products as well. For example, I also learned different Oracle products. Like I learned MS SQL and supported for 2.5 years. And I also learned SAP HANA from SAP systems and also supported SAP HANA databases. And also learned IBM DB2 and I also learned MongoDB. I also learned PostgreSQL. I also learned MySQL and also supported many customers with these database flavors because that is about passionate and that's about how much you are willing to learn the things and then support that. So I supported these database flavors as well. And again, I did not limited my knowledge to these different database flavors. Whenever there is opportunities, I took a challenge and also I learned the different product as well. For example, I learned DevOps skills and then I use those DevOps skills for my automations. For example, I learned Ansible, Terraform, and Kubernetes, and shell scripting, and Python scripting. And these are like your other DevOps skills where chef cookbooks and other some small of automation you can learn. So once you learn these DevOps skills, you can use these DevOps skills for your day-to-day task automations. So I use them for automation, especially Ansible. I learned Ansibles, and with the Ansibles, I was able to do some automation like patching and upgradation automation. And I learned Terraform, and I was able to do some automation in the cloud platforms, provisioning the instances and spinning up of databases in the Oracle Cloud, in the AWS. So those are like other areas like DevOps skills. I learned my own interest and then I use them for my day-to-day operations to just to make it automate. Right? It's all about your passion and then how much you are willing to put your effort and then learn the things. And once you learn it, then you have to implement it. You have to convert that skill, how you can utilize it for your day-to-day operations. Right. So those are my other areas of expertise and other database skills and other or other than Oracle Word and other stuffs what I learned and what I use in my career. Right. So with that, I used to get a lot of questions from my students and within my circle. With the cloud is booming, what is our DBA roles? Are the DBA roles or the DBA jobs are going to be vanish in the future days? And how it gonna be? Like that's one of the hot topic. And recently you might have heard with the Oracle word. with Oracle announced multi-cloud, the partnership with the AWS and Azure, and also you might have seen Oracle stock price. So if you are not aware, I can quickly take a look here. I can show you here Oracle stock price, and if I just go for last 1 year, so Oracle stock price almost reached 170. So just 1 year back, it was just 100 and 110, and then all of a sudden it was reached $170 Oracle stock price. That is because Oracle has just having a partnership with their cloud infrastructure with a different cloud platform. And in last 1 year, it has grown around 60% of the stock price. What that indicates, that's about a multi-cloud. Oracle is coming in the all the cloud vendor. Like Oracle is launching database as a service in Azure, in AWS, in Google Cloud. So many customers who are sticking to this other cloud vendor, not related to Oracle cloud vendor, like many customers who are already partner with AWS, already partner with Azure, they are interested in Oracle database. But Oracle database is not supported in their cloud. Now Oracle has partnered with all the other cloud vendor. So many customer now starting migrating to their workload, their business into Oracle databases. So with that, what that indicates, that's going to open up a lot of opportunities, lot of market for the Oracle DBAs. And of course, with this cloud technologies, there are some tasks where DBA manually used to do it. Those are like automated. With a single click, the database will be provisioned. With a single click, the server will be provisioned. So those are small tasks where DBA used to do it. Those are automated with the help of cloud, the cloud UI. But apart from that, your database maintenance, administration, your patching, your performance tuning, your backup, restore, recoveries, all those tasks remain same as it is. No changes at all. DBAs are mandatory. DBA roles, DBA jobs are must, are mandatory. And with this Oracle Cloud partnering with the this Oracle Corporation partnering with the other cloud vendors and supporting for this multi-cloud environment, so there will be a lot of opportunities for Oracle DBAs in the market. No doubt in that. All right. So that's about the quick intro about my journey and my career expertise and my areas of expertise and my areas of interest, and then how I adopted different skills. That's primarily your own interest and your effort and how much you're willing to learn. Right. So I'll take a pause here. If anyone has any questions to ask about anything, I'll take a minute. If no questions, I'll continue further on the second topic.
Yes, sir. Hello.
Yeah, please.
Yes, sir. I Balabhadra.
Yeah, Bala, go ahead.
Yes, sir. I have completed my MC in 2017, and then I prepared myself for job, and then coronavirus pandemic comes, and also appeared government exam. So now I want to, after knowing you Oracle DBA, so interested for make career. So is it possible for me to make career in Oracle DBA?
Right. So anytime you can learn Oracle DBA, no
Yes.
restrictions and no concerns about that. But
Yes.
2017 till now, it's almost 7 years. So
Yeah.
many organization what they're looking, if any break in the career, if there's any break in your like education, very
Yes.
much concerned about that. So you have to look for some organization where there are no restrictions, and you also look for some internal referrals. Any of your friends or colleagues are within your friend circle who are already working, so you have to get a reference from them, and you have to speak to them and then get a hiring internal reference. Otherwise you are trying to look outside market and looking for a job. That's a little bit challenging because of 7 years of gap. Many organization are not considering most of the candidate. There are few organizations where they will still go ahead and then hire, irrespective of whatever the career gap or career break you have it, as long as you are having a good knowledge and DBA and you are able to fulfill their requirement. That is very few organizations. And with that, the opportunities are very limited. But what you're gonna do, you have to go and get some reference from your friends or circle, or you have to keep on searching for the job opportunities. You have to keep on applying the job opportunities, whatever available. And based upon the need and based upon whether you are fulfilling the requirement and how much strong in the DBA field, so you'll be getting shortlisted or getting selected for that organization.
That means career gap will be a major problem for me.
Right, that's correct.
Mhm.
Again, as I said, most of the companies will not consider, will look for a candidate who are fresh graduated and who are having a experience. And again, with that, I have seen many of my old student or many of my friends within the circle, like they're just taking some fake experience of these
Mhm.
7 years. Some organization will
Mhm.
be giving some fake experience and then they're putting some fake experience and then they're getting a job opportunities. So ideally, that is not a good manners, like getting a fake experience and getting through, because when organization will do a background verification check and then they will be easily caught whatever their document or whatever the experience they shown 7 years of experience with some XYZ organization, and if they found out it is a fake, then immediately they're going to terminate on spot. So that will be a bad remark on your career. So I don't recommend to go with that, getting some fake experience and then using that and getting a job opportunities. So best way to search for job opportunities where organization are not worrying or not concerned about this career gap. And also primary focus should be reach out to HR, reach out to your friend circle, your colleagues, and then get the internal referrals. So once you get an internal referral, and very much 99% you will be getting a opportunity, you will be getting an offer from that organization, irrespective of whatever the career gap you have it. That's the best way to find out a job.
Internal means as my friends are not working in the Oracle DBA domains, so what can I do
Not,
in that?
I got it. So internal referral meaning not only your friend circle, you can go out and then reach out to HRs in LinkedIn, in Monster. You will be keep on applying for their position, and then you can share your resume. And in the resume, you can clearly mention these many 7 years of gap I have it. So even after you mention in your resume, you are getting an interview call letter, meaning those organizations are not worrying about that career gap. And as long as you are strong in the DBA field, then you will get through that particular job offer. So that's how you can do it. You can keep reaching HRs, keep reaching, keep applying for the available positions. And then best way to go for your LinkedIn profile, and wherever there are opportunities, keep applying for that. And wherever there is a HR posting the comment for the DBA positions, keep pinging them and then share your resume with them.
Hello, Malik sir. Sorry to interrupt you in between. What's the name of the other person who is talking to you?
I think it's a Bala.
Bala, you can connect me after the session. I can help you in that. I face the same situation, so let's connect after the session. I will guide you.
Great.
And Malik sir, I want to ask some question.
Great.
Whether this session is sufficient to clear the OCI OCP certification?
No. Oh, sorry.
Okay,
OCI is your cloud.
no, OCP, sorry.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that probably. We had in 11G and in 12C, we had OCA and OCP certificate, Oracle Certified Associate, Oracle Certified Professional. And with 19C, Oracle has removed this
The
OCA certificate.
OCP is there.
So with this course, you should be able to complete your OCP certificate.
Okay.
All right. Let's continue now. We'll take
Yes,
all the
hello.
questions.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, Bala.
Hello.
Yeah, Bala.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Previously, those
Yeah,
conversion.
you ping me in my WhatsApp. I'll share the details and I'll connect with both of you guys. All right.
Hello, sir. I have last one question.
Yeah,
Uh,
please.
I'm Harish. Do you have a separate team for clearing dots, or you only, I mean, supporting to for clearing?
I'm the only person will be connecting with each and everyone whenever you have any questions, any queries, whenever you are stuck with any of the setup installation. There's no other team, right? No worry on that. So I'll be there for any questions or any queries or any time whenever you have any doubts.
Okay, okay, yeah, thank you.
All right. Let's quickly look on glance on a course curriculum. Uh, and then these are the course curriculum. I'm gonna post it in the chat here in case of anyone has not gone through it. So this is the course curriculum link that contains the course structure, malik034blogspot.com, and you can explore that, what is contains in this course. Right, so we'll start with the environment where we'll understand the Linux, setting up of Linux environment and setting up of some networking, understanding of IP addresses, and few other stuffs. The chapter number 1 and 2 is about understanding Linux environment and some networking concept and setting up of your lab infrastructure. And chapter number 3 is installation of your software, Oracle softwares. And once you install Oracle software, we'll try to understand different methods and different the changes between 11G to 12C to 19C. What all the changes happened in installation process. And chapter number 4, we're going to start with the creation of database, various method, manual method and GUI method, automated one. And what are the changes between 11G, 12C, 19C? We'll talk about many things in that, but I just mentioned the topic subject over here, but there will be a lot of subtopics inside that. And in chapter number 6, we'll start exploring the architecture. Again, this particular course is based upon 19C architecture, but we'll be covering what are the differences, what are the changes happened with 11G architecture, 12C architecture, 19C architecture. What are the major changes? We'll explore more on that. And then in chapter number 7, we'll talk about the database administration with the startup sequence, shutdown sequence, and various database files, SP file, P file, password file, your redo log files, arclog files, data files, temp files, undo files, and what is static parameter, dynamic parameter, how can I change my parameters, how can I change my redo log location, how can I add a redo log, and how can I, you know, add a data files, how can I add temp files, how can I add undo data files, and your tuning memory components, and so much of administration part will be covering that to internal concept of our database. And in expansion, in addition to that, in chapter number 9, we'll be talking about the logical structure. Whatever we talked about here is maintenance, management of my various files, various file structures. And here we'll talk about inside logical structure of my database storage, database blocks, and database segments, database extents, and your dictionary views, locally managed and dictionary managed, and your database blocks. That's all about logical how database will understand. So that we're going to explore more on the storage structure, storage part here. Right. Then with the chapter number 9, we'll go in deep under ASM architecture, ASM administration, and ASM disk group maintenance. and how you can add a disk, how you can drop a disk, how you can create a disk group, and how you can create your database inside your ASM disk group. So everything about ASM administration, ASM architecture, and ASM maintenance we'll explore on this chapter number 9. Chapter number 10 is for your multi-tenant architecture, 12C and 19C. Again, very mandatory architecture, multi-tenant architecture, CDBs and PDBs. And starting with the 21C onwards, it's all about multi-tenant database. There is no normal database architecture. We'll explore more on the CDBs and PDBs, multi-tenant architecture, CDB cloning, PDB cloning, backup, restore, recoveries of CDBs and PDBs. All those we'll explore more here. Chapter number 11 is networking. Networking meaning your connectivity issues. Your users, end users or developers or testing users are always reporting unable to connect to database. My TNS is not working, my listener is not working. How you can configure your listener, how you can configure your TNS, and how you can troubleshoot any port issues, any network issues, packet drop issues, and how you can connect with the SQL developer, Toad, and how you can track that particular user connection. So that's all about your networking level, how you can configure it and how you can troubleshoot. We'll be covering here in the chapter number 11. Chapter number 12 is about user administration, user security, user maintenance, like users and schemas and privileges, roles, profiles, quotas, and how you can restrict a user and how you can grant a permission, privileges, system privileges, object level privileges. All will be explored more over here. So you might be getting like many requests from your developer or the end user. Can I get what all privileges this particular user has? Can you create a user B similar to user A with all the privileges, whatever user A has it, replicate it on user B? So all those kind of questions or activities, tasks, we'll explore more here in this user management. And chapter number 13, 14, and 15 is all about backups, restore, recoveries. So you have a cold backup, you have a hot backup, you have a RMAN backup, different backup strategies. And most of the time now, 99% many customers will be preferred to go with the RMAN backup, restore recoveries. In olden days, we used to have this cold backup and hot backup, so which is not a production use case and it has its own drawback. We'll explore that what is cold backup, what is hot backup, how you can take a backup and how you can restore it. But we are pretty much concentrated about RMAN backup, restore recoveries, different level 0 backup, level 1 backup, full backup, incremental backup, archive log backup, control file backup, SP file backup, and your auto backup. How you can take a backup and then using those backup, how you can perform a point in time restores, how you can clone your production database to a development database. So all those, each and every concept will be demonstrated with a clear demo, with a real-time experience, real-time examples. All these 3 chapters are based upon backups and recoveries because backup is going to be one of the mandatory tasks for many DBAs. In case of any disaster or any production crash happens, and then that indicate how strong is your backup, how strongly you have set up your backup strategy. So that matters. Give me 1 second here, guys. All right, sorry for that. So what I'm talking is a backup. So very important concept, and it's a regular daily task for many DBAs. And your business continuity plan, whenever there's a disaster, whenever there's a crash happens on your production database, how quickly you can back to business, how quickly you can start your business back. That all depending upon how strongly you have set up your backup strategy. So we'll discuss more on that backup strategies, how you can schedule your backup script, how you can write your backup script, and then how you can schedule them with a cron tab. And then with using those backups, how you can perform a point in time restore recoveries and how you can develop your lower environment. We'll cover everything here in the chapter number 13, 14, and 15. Chapter number 16 is about patching. Oracle releases quarterly patches every Jan, every April, every July, and every October. 4 times in a 1 year, Oracle releases quarterly patches. These quarterly patches are bug fixes and some security enhancement and some new features. And it's a mandatory task for DBAs to keep applying these patches on their Oracle environment and keep the databases vulnerable free. So it's a mandatory task or job for DBAs to apply the patches and keep their databases up to date, compliance report. So we'll understand different types of patches, OPatch and data patch, OPatch Auto and manual OPatch, and how you can apply the patch and GI Home, Oracle Home, and at database level. We'll explore all of them in this patching here. So chapter number 17 is for database upgrade. There are various methods for database upgrade: manual method, silent method, GUI method, auto upgrade, Perl script, shell script. So we'll explore more on them. What are the pre-checks? What are the post-checks? And my upgrade is taking more time. How I can tune it? And then what need to be considered before the upgrade? We'll explore more on the database upgrade. 11G to 12C upgrade, 12C to 19C upgrade, 11G to 19C upgrade. What is my upgrade path? We'll take a look on them. And then the chapter number 18 is about a data guard, a standby database. What are the different types of standby database? What are the different modes of standby database? And what is my data guard architecture? What are the services? What are the mandatory processes? And how can I set up my data guard? And my data guard goes out of sync. What can I do? How can I make my data guard in sync with prod? And my FRA is full, my DRS goes out of sync. Then again, how can I make it sync? And your data guard comes, there will be mandatory task every year we do. That's a DR drill, switch over activity, converting your primary as a standby and standby as a primary. So that all will be demonstrated with the real-time example here in the data guard architecture. And followed by chapter number 19 is about shell scripting. So it's one of the mandatory tasks. So not only shell scripting, I would strongly recommend everyone to learn Python script and make your day-to-day activities automation. So we'll be covering basics of shell scripting, how you can write your shell scripting, and then how you can make your day-to-day activities automation. Like whatever I talked about backups, I need to take everyday backup. And how can I write my shell script to take that everyday backup? I don't need to manually take everyday backup. I can write my shell script, I can schedule it in the cron tab. And then I want to make patching. How can I make patching automation using shell script? And I want to monitor my data guard sync between prod and DR. I don't want to every day sit and do it for every 1 hour to check my data guard sync. I can write some shell scripting and I can monitor the data guard sync. Whenever the data guard goes out of sync, trigger an email alert. Right? So you can do all the day-to-day activities, whatever we do manually, by using a shell scripting or Python scripting. So we'll try to understand some basics of shell scripting and scheduling the job using a cron tab, and then write small script for automating our DBA tasks. We'll explore more on the shell scripting here. Chapter number 20 will deal with the export and import, the logical object export like table, schema, table space, your database export. And there are some of real-time experience like my export is taking a long time, my import is taking a long time. And how can I tune it? How can I improve my performance, export, import? And my export is stuck, my import is stuck. How can I troubleshoot? And your export I triggered, lot of users are complaining performance issue. I need to cancel that, or I need to pause that export. How can I do that? So all will be possible with this export and import. We will cover A to Z in that export and import. And followed by chapter number 21 is about the 12C new feature and 19C new feature. We'll explore, like, again, I'm not going to cover A to Z new feature here. There will be hundreds and thousands of new features in 12C and 19C. It's our individual's job to go over and understand each and every feature. And if it's a very important one and needed for day-to-day operations, explore more on that and use it for your day-to-day activities. We'll be exploring few of the common or mandatory or main new features which are very, very helpful for DBA day-to-day activities. We'll go ahead and then pick up few of the new features and we'll explore more on them. And in this chapter number 22 is about performance tuning. Like 22, 23, 24, 25 is about a performance tuning. My queries are running longer time. My statistics are not good. And yesterday query used to take 5 minutes. Today is running from last 1 hour. And how I can tune that query, like by running AWR report, ADDM report, ASH report, understanding my database, understanding my queries, how they're running, understanding my database, how it is performing, and is there any gather stats on a table, gather stats on a schema, gather stats on an index are needed. Is there any index are invalid or unusable? Rebuild the index online. And is there any table fragmentation? Because of that, select queries are taking more time. Is there any logs? Is there any wait events in my database which is causing my query performance? And all of them, like, there's many things. SQL profiling, how my execution plan it is. Is it using a good execution plan or bad execution plan? How can I force my optimizer to use a good execution plan? So it's all about a performance tuning. By reading AWR report, ADDM report, ASH report, how can I understand my database performance, query performance, and then how can I twin those query performance by doing a gather stats, by doing a table move, table sync, by doing a schema stats, by doing a index stats, by doing a index rebuild, by doing a table move, or using your SQL profiling and intimating your optimizer to use a best execution plan. So we'll be explaining all the performance related in-depth analysis for all the query issues, all the database issues, and followed by chapter number 16, the resume writing and the cover letter. Very important, because once you complete this course, you should be able to get a different opportunities. You should be getting a new opportunities to expand your skills and knowledge. Very important aspect is how good or how strong your resume is, how strong your cover letter is. So I'll be going through my own resume and cover letter, and then I'll be sharing with you so that you can replicate the same copy with your experience, your expertise, and you'll be getting a lot of opportunities based upon how strong your resume is. And some of the key points you have to mandatorily follow that in your resume. Give me 1 second. All right, sorry for that. Okay, so followed by your interview question. Sorry for that. Okay, and followed by your interview questions. So there'll be thousands of interview questions I have already drafted. We'll be going over through that all the mandatory questions, interview questions. Along with all this entire course, we'll be covering what are the expected questions and answers. But at the end of the session also, we'll be kept together all the interview questions. We'll be going over all those documents and understanding those questions and answers. So if you refer this interview questions and answers, that's more than enough. You can able to crack any interview. Right. So finally, the mock interview. So it will be conducted one-to-one between you and interested candidate. So you can register for this mock interview. So I'll be connecting with you one-to-one with a real-time interview process, how the real-time interview looks like, what are the questions. I'll be asking a questions and then you'll be answering it as if like a real-time interview. And then if you're making any mistakes or how you could have handled better, I'll be providing some guidance of the trip after the end of that mock interview. Right, so that's pretty much about the course curriculum, what is planned. And I know there will be a lot of questions like, do we cover some topics like Golden Gate, some topics like Oracle Enterprise Manager, some topic like wallet and security, some topic like Oracle licensing. So those topics will not be covered here. Those are your advanced topics. So that needs separate sessions, because if you want to cover wallet, you need to understand some security concept within the database. And you want to cover Oracle OEM, and you need to do some OEM setup, OEM agent installation, and all those things. You want to cover Golden Gate, first again you have to do a setup, Golden Gate replication, and all those things. Those are all your separate advanced courses. Those will not be covered. But if any of the students or most of the students are interested in few of the topics, say some basics on OEM, some basics on database wallets, Oracle TDE, transparent data encryption. If it is a basics and most of the students are interested, so that can be taken it as a extra classes after end of this course. So based upon how many students are interested and who all are interested, we'll take it as a separate extra classes based upon the majority of the request. By clubbing my previous batch and this batch, who all are interested, they can join and then we can explore more of basic stuffs. Not in depth, but yeah, those can be covered subjected to everyone interest. All right. So I'll take a pause here on this course curriculum. Anyone has any questions so far on the course content of the course curriculum?
Hi, Malik. This is Gufran here. I do have one question. And would this course be covering the daily, weekly, and the monthly checks
Yeah,
that DBA normally do?
right. Will be covered.
Thank you.
Again, you might be confused. Only these are the topics. Of course, these are not the only topics. There will be hundreds of other topics. I don't put down or I don't mention over here. Like, let's say if we talk about patching here, there's the rolling patching, there's the non-rolling patching, there's how you can minimize the downtime for patching, how you can apply the patching on GI home, how you can apply the patching on your DB home, how you can apply the patching on your database. So there will be a lot of things will be covered, but only high level points, key points I mentioned over here. As you asked, daily checks, weekly checks, monthly checks, everything will be covered regularly on each and every topic. When we are covering, will be covered all of those topics. No worry in that. All right. Any questions so far? Anyone?
Yeah, Malik.
Yeah.
Malik, this is out of question actually. Did you teach Excel also?
Accelerator, no.
Okay. How about Golden Gate?
No. I'm taking as of now only two courses, Oracle DBA and Oracle Rack. And next course, what I'm going to start is Oracle Performance Tuning. That was the long pending one. Many students were waiting for that. So
Okay.
that will be a third course we'll be launching very soon. And as of now, I'm not covering any other courses apart from these three.
Okay, fine. So what is the no by attending this course, what is the minimum count? Because I'm going to buy the new laptop. So
We'll
what is
cover
what
that.
the
We'll cover in the
what is
next point.
the minimum actually?
Yeah, we'll cover in the next point here.
Okay.
Are you providing lab access to practice?
No, we'll cover that one here in the point number 4. How the lab access, what's the minimum requirement, we'll be covering here in a minute.
Hello, Malik. Good
Yeah.
morning.
Yeah, go ahead. Chaitanya.
I have a 7 years of experience, but I I have a gap 1 year since last year to till today.
Okay.
I'm not working. So how much experience can I put as a DBA and after this course completion and go with DBA?
Yeah. So as I told, right, let's say if you complete your DBA course in any organization,
Mm,
if you are a database admin, database expert,
mm,
and your resume should contain 1 to 4 years of experience. If you are 1 to 4 years of experience, you can show your all the DBA skills. And if you want to show more than 4 years, like 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, then you have to learn your rack. Rack should be 5 year to somewhere around 7 or 6 years or 8 years. You should learn your rack skills.
okay.
Anything above 7 years or 8 years,
Mm-hmm.
like I'm having 9 years, I'm having 10 years, I'm having 11 years. If you're crossing that, you want to show that much of experience in your resume,
Mm-hmm.
then you have to explore more other things, your clouds, not only your OCI cloud, you can explore your AWS, you can explore your Azure, you can explore your other cloud platform, and you can explore your different databases.
Okay.
So you have to explore more things. Not only that one, you can explore your DevOps. So by exploring all these other skills, you can easily survive in the industry when you were between 9 years to whatever you were, 14 years or whatever 13 years experience. Because more and more experience, people will like this is your junior DBA entry level, and this is your senior DBA where you are supporting rack and your data guard and all those things. And the moment you crosses 8 years, 9 years, 10 years, people expectation will be more on you. You have to lead the team. You are kind of a SME, subject matter expert, and
Mm,
where you should know the other stuffs along with the database and rack. You should know the cloud technology. That's a current booming market. You should know the cloud, not only Oracle cloud, any cloud technology, AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, any cloud technology you should be aware. And along with that, you should be able to handle the other databases, MySQL, MS SQL, PostgreSQL. Those are your NoSQL databases. You have to explore other database skills. So this I'm talking about based upon my own experience and my own discussion with my circle. So if you up to date with these many years of experience and these many skills, then you will be top in the market. So I'm having a 10 years of experience. I know only database and rack. I don't know any of these skills. Then still you will get a job opportunities, but very limited. The industry will think, why should I pay this much with a 10 years of experience just to support your database and rack? I can get any candidate with a 5 years, 6 years of experience who can do the same task, whatever you are doing it now,
okay.
right? So anything above 15 plus years of experience will be your solution architect.
Okay.
That's a different role together.
No, I have 7 years, but apart from that, I have a 2.5 years of experience in SQL, PL, SQL production application support. And initially, I was in some data management processing domain,
Yeah.
mortgage domain. So how can I go with the as a DBA?
Right. Again, this 7 years of experience. Now you are not learning the rack. You are learning only DBA. So you have to show 4 years of experience relevant to this Oracle field, and
Okay.
remaining 3 years or whatever I worked as a non-DBA or non-technical like other domain,
Oh,
and then I
okay, okay.
switched it. You have to show based upon this one. Like the moment you say I am having a 7 years of experience in Oracle field, all these 7 years I worked as Oracle DBA. You write your resume with 7 years I
Mm-hmm.
worked as Oracle DBA. Then your expectation should be you have to work on rack, data guard, and other things.
Yes,
So
yes.
without that knowledge, you will be able to struggle, and you will be able to struggle a lot to survive if you show 7 years experience in your resume.
Okay, got it.
Malik, you said no cloud, right? So cloud and like it's got a kind of many services, right? What it will help of a DBA? Only we have RDS and the Redshift something, right? So what are in cloud? There are it's in many concepts. So what are the we need to focus on it?
Cloud, the main fundamental things you need to understand is networking. You don't need to go and then deep cloud like architect and other things. If you want to change your career, you have to go for cloud professional, cloud associate, and the cloud architect. There's different roles and different flavors. You can learn it and you can change your career path. But if you understand the networking, your gateways, your VPCs, and your VNCs in the cloud, that will be one of the added advantages for the DBS, because many times most of the issues will comes on the connectivity issue, ingress and outgress, your connectivity inflow outflow, and user complaint and user application connections. So those all depends upon your networking understanding. If you explore any one cloud technologies, the networking fundamentals, that's more than enough for DBS. And
Okay.
also other concept to understand in cloud is your storage architecture, how your data will be stored. Once your database is migrated to cloud, it's all about your cloud storage. You have a hot tier, cold tier, you have a blob, whatever the storage structure, there will be a lot of storage structures will come into picture. So your storage, because all your database is going to sit under that cloud storage, all your backups are sit under your cloud storage. So you have to focus on this storage concept and networking concept in the cloud. And other than that, there will be a lot of things. So not mandatory for DBA to understand. That is for your cloud architect role or cloud professional certificate. You have to explore more on that. But these two are mandatory things for DBAs: the storage structure and the networking in cloud. Learn
Can
any
you
one cloud is more than enough. Oracle Cloud or Azure Cloud will be a same concept, but only the keywords are getting changed.
yeah, how about AWS, Malik?
AWS, again, any cloud you learn it. AWS, Oracle Cloud, Azure, Google Cloud, GCP, any one cloud structure you learn it, and it'll be same concept in the other cloud technologies.
How it will be help for no the cloud professional like SC solution architect, it will help whether it help for DBA because I don't
You
want
no
to
need
switch.
to you no need to learn everything. You have to learn only these two things. That's more than enough for DBS. In the cloud, the storage structure, how the storage structure, how the data will be stored, and how the
Okay,
networking concept works. That main concept you understand, that's more than enough. You no need to go for solution, your cloud professional or cloud associate or cloud architect. That's a different role altogether.
okay. Then what is that? No, no migration from on-premises to cloud migration.
Yeah, that's where you need to know all this networking and the storage. Once you know this concept, you can easily migrate your database from on-premises to cloud.
Okay, okay. How about other RDS, Redshift, and Aurora, something like that? So,
That's your other databases. You want to switch your career from Oracle World to other field, you have to learn your AWS. Again, as I said, in AWS, you no need to learn all of them. You just learn only the storage and networking. That's more than enough for DBS. And
oh,
if you learn AWS RDS, AWS Aurora, AWS Redshift, these are the different flavors of databases provided by your AWS.
okay. Because
Right? So
my intention, I don't want to like switch to other because as you said, I want to stick into Oracle and need to enhance skill to the Oracle field only.
right.
That's what I think.
Yeah. So again, if you want to learn AWS, go and learn it. Why AWS? Because majority of customers are in AWS,
Okay.
and any new startup comes, they will be preferred to go with the AWS rather than OCI because of
Oh,
the fact that the licensing cost is one of the bottleneck for Oracle. Oracle licensing cost is
yeah.
always high.
Okay. Okay. So
So for that,
what is our DBA role in the cloud actually?
no, DBA roles are remain same. Once your database is running in cloud, once your database is running in your on-premise, it doesn't matter. Whatever we do day-to-day activities, monitoring, backup, restore, recovery, whatever I covered here, the core structure, it's all
Hmm.
remain same.
Okay.
Whatever
Then
these activities, your database is running under cloud, your database is running under on-premises, these all activities remain same. What is
okay.
automated in the cloud? Your chapter number 1, chapter number 2, chapter number 3, chapter number 4. These are like automated in the cloud.
Oh,
Just go to cloud UI, click provision database. You're going to ask what is SGA, what is PGA, what is networking, and which reason you want. You just fill up that all and click the single button. Your database will be ready. Once the database is
is
ready, remaining all the concept remains same.
okay. Is this DBA task to provision in the cloud?
That's where the DBA, that's where I'm telling you, you have to understand the networking. DBA,
Oh,
I have to do this provisioning because there will be a lot of networking you have to select. There will be a lot of
oh,
storage. It will ask which storage you want it. While provisioning is just not a single click. In the provisioning, it will ask what storage you want it, what network you want it, in which region you want it.
okay.
Right? We have to work with our cloud administrator and we have to give all those feedbacks because it cannot be simply click and database can be created anywhere. You have to choose
Okay.
your networking, storage, and all those things.
And how about DevOps will help for this DBA, Malik?
I already explained, right? It's your day-to-day automation.
Okay.
You once you learn your DevOps, you can do your lot of automations. Your daily activities you can do automate.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Thanks, Malik. Thanks.
Just want to ask, sir, in XPDP or EMPDP, are we able to learn the database refresh or database cloning?
Right. That's correct.
Okay. Also, you said in fragmentation, and what about defragmentation? We are able to learn the defragmentation in the database.
Yeah, that's what I told you. Table move, table sync, export, import. That's one of your entry questions. My table is fragmented. How can I defragment it? There are many methods. One is export, import.
Mhm.
Other one is your table move, and other one is your table sync. By doing any of these options, you're going to do defragment your table.
Okay, thank you.
Hello.
Yep.
Is it possible to time of this batch 8 to 10?
Yeah, we'll already we got a few students and they are part of this course and we'll discuss once this course starts on Monday what time, whether I can shift this timing 30 minutes before or you can move timing 30 minutes ahead. I'm okay, I'm flexible with that, but we'll take a decision based upon everyone discussion. But for now, 8:30 to 10:30, Monday to Friday is a fixed timing. And based upon everyone interest, we'll change the timings starting from Monday.
Actually, I have a office starting at 10:30. That's why I'm asking. If 8 to 10, then I will have a buffer of 30 minutes so I can
We'll
reach.
take it offline, yeah. Right now,
Oh,
I'll not say yes, but we'll take it offline based upon everyone interest.
okay.
All right, let's take a pause here and we'll continue further. We'll take a questions a bit later. Now let's jump on to the third topic, the course fees and timings quickly. So as I said, today and tomorrow, 19th September, tomorrow 20th September, Thursday, Friday, are two demo sessions, 8:30 to 10:30. And again, there's a time difference between IST India timing and EST timing. In IST, it will be Thursday, Friday. In EST, it will be Wednesday and Thursday. Please note that it will be 18th September and 19th September, 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. EST. So this is a demo link what we used for this demo sessions. The Zoom link for demo session today and tomorrow we're using the same link. On Monday onwards, we'll be having a dedicated different Zoom link for those registered students. So this is the database course curriculum what I just briefed or gone through. And actual class will be starting from Monday. So today, Thursday and Friday, 19th and 20th, 19th September, 20th September, Thursday, Friday, followed by Saturday, Sunday. 2021 is the off weekends, and Monday, 23rd September, will be starting our actual batch. Again, that will be 23rd September, Monday for IST timing. That will be 22nd September, Sunday for EST timing. That will be 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. in the midnight. But in the IST, it will be 8:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. IST. So this is a weekday batch, meaning Monday to Fridays is our regular classes, 8:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. IST, 2 hours every day, Monday to Friday. In EST, it will be 11 p.m. EST to 1 a.m. EST, 2 hours every day, Monday to Friday. And within 35 days, we'll be able to complete this entire course. And if anything, any extra topic need to be covered, we'll be covering as an extra course or extra topics after end of this course. Like as I told, any advanced topics or any topics anyone are interested will be covered as extra classes. Again, no need to pay extra money on that, but it's all available. So this is a paid training which is cost 10K, 10,000 Indian rupees or 125 US dollars. And the mode of this training will be online live classes over a Zoom, and we'll be covering 19C version. Right, there'll be a couple of questions like what happens if I miss the classes? Uh, no worries, everyday sessions will be recorded and uploaded into Google Drive. And whenever you miss the sessions, you can go and then watch the recordings. And then who are registered students who are made a payment and will be part of the WhatsApp group. Each batch will be having a dedicated WhatsApp group, and all the registered students will be part of that WhatsApp group. I think already we got around few registered students from last 1 week or 2 weeks. They are part of this WhatsApp group, and I have granted access on the Google Drive for all those registered students. This Google Drive basically contains the course materials, course PPT, course workbook, the previous batch recordings, and this current batch recording. Everyday sessions will be recorded and uploaded to Google Drive. Whenever you miss that today's session, you can watch that. And in advance, you'll be getting access on the Google Drive where you can see previous batch recordings so that you can go and then watch the previous batch recording well in advance so that whenever you are attending the live classes, you'll be having a lot of questions. You'll be getting a chance to ask a lot of questions once you watch the previous batch recordings. And of course, you'll be getting this course materials, PPTs, workbook, all the softwares, all the labs, everything will be available in the Google Drive. So this particular WhatsApp group, again, there will be few questions. So dedicated WhatsApp group for only registered student. You can ask any questions. You can post any queries on the WhatsApp group. I'll be assisting you on that. Not necessarily for this particular batch. Any questions you are working as a DBA and you got some task in your organization and you're stuck with that activity, you can post in our WhatsApp group. I'll be helping you on that. Again, this is a dedicated WhatsApp group for only registered student. It will be available for lifetime support, provided everyone are active and participating in this group. This group will be available for lifetime support even after completion of this course. You can post any questions, queries, or whenever you're attending any interview and you're unable to crack that interview because of the difficulties in the questions, you can post those questions and you can share your feedbacks. We'll be reconnecting like regularly and frequently, and we'll be covering all of them, extra topics and all. And this Google Drive access will be available for lifetime. There's no restriction. You can download this course material into your local laptop, or you can watch the recordings on the Google Drive itself. Everything will be available for lifetime access. No restriction on that. And again, coming to, as I said, this is a paid training. 10,000 is Indian rupees or 125 US dollars. And then the next question is, how can I make a payment? There'll be various payment options: Google Pay, Phone Pay, bank transfer, or online transfer, or Western Union or MoneyGram. There are a lot of methods. So you can feel free to ping me on my WhatsApp number, or you can call me on my WhatsApp number. I ping this number in the chat. You can take a note. I can further guide you through payment process. And once you do a payment, then you will be added to WhatsApp group, and then you'll be getting access on the Google Drive. And then you can start watching the previous batch recordings well in advance, along with this current batch recordings also available. And Monday onwards, we'll be starting the regular classes. Right. So I'll take a pause here for a minute. Any questions or concerns on the timings or the payment structure? Feel free to ask any questions here or use the chat window here in the Zoom.
Yeah, Malik, one more thing. Do we have any for partial payment?
Yeah, that is subjected to agreement between you and me. So you can feel free to ping me on my WhatsApp. It'll take
Okay,
it
fine,
offline.
fine. And one more, yeah, and one more thing, do we get for rack videos also?
No, that's
With
a
the
separate
payment?
course.
Oh, fine. Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you.
All right. Quickly jump on to the next one. Very important things, because without these prerequisites, the moment you join for this course, you should not regret later, because it's a paid training and we will not be getting, you know, everyone will be like hard earned money, and we don't want to waste that one. So very, very clear. This particular course is suited for anyone. You are a beginner just starting your career, or you already having a experience of 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, doesn't matter. Anyone can attend this course, because this course starting from the scratch will be formed till advanced level. Anyone can attend this course. You already working as a IT company as a non-DBA. You want to switch your career from non-DBA to DBA, or non-IT background to IT background. Any of background, you can attend this course. But you should be knowing basics of your Windows and Linux. So the question is, if I don't know basics of Windows or Linux, meaning like I don't know how to turn on my laptop, I don't know how to turn on, I don't know how to use my Windows laptop. That's a bare minimal. You should know that basics of Windows operating system at least. You don't know the Linux, fair enough. As part of this database course, what are the basics Linux commands are needed? I'll be covering them on a daily basis, and also will be giving some material where you can go and then learn the Linux. But at least Windows, you should be aware of that. How to click on the start button, where to go, how to search the software. That basic need you should be having it. And also you should be having basic knowledge on SQL command. So if you don't know the SQL queries or command, so again, no worries. If you know this two important aspect, basics of Windows, basics of Linux, and basics of SQLs, you should be able to catch up the course and content whatever explaining on fly. And if you don't know this, every day you have to spend some extra time. You have to learn this Linux basic command. You have to learn this basic SQL command. You have to learn this basic Windows. We have material here on the Google Drive. You can go and then watch them. You can go and then read those materials. You'll be able to catch up the things, but that needs some extra effort from your side. Every day you have to spend some times, understand each and every command in the Linux, each and every command in the SQL. But along with this course, whatever the commands are needed for Linux, whatever commands are needed for SQL, I'll be explaining it on every day. But on top of that, you have to put some extra effort to read on regular basis, so that you should be able to catch up the things. If you don't put your effort, then you will be lagging in the course. You will not be able to catch up the things. You have to watch the recordings again and again and understand the topics. So that is a must. But if you don't know, no worries. Whatever basics needed will be covered along with this course. But this is important. Why it is important? You should have a minimum 10 GB RAM and minimum 100 GB SSD hard disk, because we'll be setting up a lab in your own laptop or the desktop using Oracle VirtualBox. If you don't have this much of RAM and hard disk, you'll not be able to set up a lab and you'll not be able to practice lab exercise. There will be a question like, I have only 8 GB RAM, I don't have SSD hard disk. So if you don't have 8 GB RAM, you don't have SSD hard disk, then your labs will be getting crashed. You try to set up your lab and your lab will be slow, your laptop will be slow, and your lab will get crashed, and you'll not be able to do a hands-on lab exercise. Whatever I'm showing, you'll be able to watch that, but you'll not be able to do a hands-on exercise if you don't have this minimum hard disk requirement with the RAM and storage. Right. So I'll take a pause here. Any questions so far on the prerequisites or on the timings of the course?
Malik, one more question actually. And because I have my old laptop, I'm going to purchase a new one. So I'm planning for a rack also. So what is your configuration I need to go and purchase actually?
So
Because
if you're going for a DBA course, go for 16 GB RAM. If you're going for a rack course, and go for a 32 GB RAM. So if you cover 32 GB RAM, like for as I said, for DBA course we need a minimum 10 GB RAM. For rack
right.
course we need a minimum 20 GB RAM. So if you purchase 32 GB RAM, that covers your both DBA plus rack course. So look for any new laptop which is having 32 GB RAM and minimum 200 GB SSD hard disk. So you go for this 32 GB RAM plus 200 GB minimum SSD hard disk.
So if you have 16 GB and that is not enough to set up for rack, as you
No,
said, right?
no.
Oh.
So go for 32
See,
GB RAM and 200 GB SSD hard disk, which covers your both DB and RAM.
okay. How about no processor and all? Is any process support?
Always go for latest one. The moment you go for 32 GB RAM, always go for a latest process. Anything above processor i5, i6. Now you
Okay.
have i9 and other stuff. Go for
Yeah,
latest one.
because I plan for i9 and 13th generation. It is fine, right?
Yeah. Any processor you can go. Anything above i5, everything supports.
Okay.
Go for
With
latest
the
one.
with the help of 32 GB RAM with the latest process, is it sufficient for cloud also, right? Because
Cloud, cloud will
Golden Gate
not be. No, cloud will not be using the laptop. Cloud will be all in the
browser.
cloud. Yeah.
But Golden Gate and
So
etc.
if
also it is
any laptop supports for your rack,
okay.
and that support for everything, your Golden
Oh,
Gate, your Data Guard, whatever other Oracle technologies, everything will be supported. Anything support for rack, because highest requirement is for rack.
okay. 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 Okay.
So,
Thank you. Thanks,
Malik,
Malik.
I have one query.
Yeah.
Like, can we pursue both the course at the same time, rack and DBA? Will it be helpful, or we should do it at a different timing? Like,
Right.
first we complete DBA, then we can go
No,
for it.
if you are already working as a DBA, then you can able to catch up both the courses at a time. If you are a new, then I will recommend to go for DBA course first. Once that is done, then go for rack. Because
I,
because if you complete your DBA course, let's say the course will be of 35 days, working days, and it will be add up 10 days of your buffer weekends. It will be of 45 days is your database course, and after that you want to learn the rack, again that will be another 45 days. So you need a minimum of 3 to 4 months to complete both the courses. So that will be of a longer duration. So if you're already working as a DBA, then go for both the course on fly. You should be able to catch up the things. Even if you don't catch up, you have recordings you can watch in advance. And then after that you're not able to catch up, then we'll connect with one-to-one and then we'll clarify all the queries or doubts. We can unblock you. But if you are new, don't know the basics of database, then first go for DBA course first. Once that is done, then go for the rack course. Go slowly if you are new.
Okay. Okay, Malik. I'm not
Alright.
new. I am already working as a DBA, so I will
Yeah,
pursue them both at the same
yeah. Then you can go for both.
time. Okay.
Yeah, Malik, what is the time for rack one? So I'm also planning for the simultaneously.
So the rack one, you might be seeing in my blog. Let's say, let's go here. In my blog, if you go here in the announcement, so we'll be starting on 28th September. This is a rack batch. So this is a weekend batch. This batch will be on only on the weekends. So 28th we are starting. This batch is only on Saturday, Sunday. So 5 weekends we'll be covering. Again, wait for my demo sessions. 28th we'll be having a demo and then we'll discuss more on that. Yeah, we'll be starting on this month end for the rack. All right.
Malik, after downloading all softwares, can we practice some topics like upgrading a standalone to MTA like that?
Oh, you can do that. You can practice that.
Okay.
Right. All right. So quickly, let's talk about a few topics. Let's say very first topics I can take types of databases. Very generic one. Let's say I can quickly get here one of my, okay, yeah, this is very much clear or understanding. One of the basic questions in most of the interview, what are the types of databases? What are the available databases in Oracle? Standalone and rack. These are the two types of databases you can get it in Oracle. This is the standalone and this is your rack. So this is your application and this is your middleware. And again, this is out of our DBA scope. We are not worrying about this portion. Whatever DBA will be worrying about this middle, like the background, the backend tier. This is a DBA support here. So we have a standalone database and rack database. What is that meaning? We have this Linux server 1 where I can create my database instance and then my database instance is talking to that respective database. Always remember in Oracle it's a one-to-one mapping. One database instance and map to particular database. Let's say I have DevDB instance mapped with the DevDB database. This is the instance and this is the database. It's always one-to-one mapping. That instance will be running under that respective Linux server. We'll talk about in our actual architecture part what is instance, what is database and all. But for now, just keep it simple. It's an instance and database are mapped one-to-one. So it's a standalone. Like let's say all your end user, anyone connecting from mobile or anyone connecting from URL, anyone connecting from desktop, all will go to that Linux server. All will access that Linux, the database instance on that Linux server. Via that instance, they will connect to my database. In case of that Linux server crashes, in case of my instance crashes, nobody can able to access my database. So that's the limitation with the help of in case of your standalone. Standalone is one instance and mapped to one database, and that instance is running under that Linux server. And if the Linux server crashes, if that instance crashes, nobody can able to access my database. So that's limitations. Oracle has came up with a rack concept to handle that one, high availability. So I have Linux server 1, Linux server 2, Linux server 3, 3 Linux servers, and anyone can connect to Linux server 1 or Linux server 2 or Linux server 3. On all these Linux server, we'll be having instance 1, instance 2, instance 3, multiple database instances. let's say DevDB, it's a DevDB instance 1, this is a DevDB instance 2, and this is a DevDB instance 3. All these three instances are mapped to a single database at DevDB. So this is called your rack, high availability, meaning if Linux server 1 crashes or my DevDB instance 1 crashes, all the users who are connected to this Linux server 1 or the instance 1 will be automatically failed over to Linux server 2 or Linux server 3. So that is your rack. Rack will be like one single database associated with multiple instances. In case of any instance crash happens or any server crash happens, you have other instance where users will connect to that other instance and they will be still able to access your database. So those are your supported two types of rack database, standalone and rack. So in my lab here, if I can quickly show, this is my standalone single server. Oracle Lab 1 is a Linux server. I have this a DevDB database. And then again, I have this Oracle Lab 2. I have this a TestDB database. So again, this is a standalone single server. I have single database. Again, standalone single server. I have single database. But what extra we observe here? ASM. Both are standalone. Both are standalone database, DevDB and TestDB. And what is this ASM? So ASM stands for Automatic Storage Management provided by Oracle. This particular DevDB, your database, what I'm talking about, your database. DevDB instance stored, the database is stored under where? OS file system or ASM file system. So right now here, if you see your DevDB instance, this particular database instance, the database is under OS file system. This TestDB instance, this particular instance, the database is stored under ASM. That's the only difference. The storage is the difference. Both are standalone. DevDB is a standalone database. TestDB is a standalone database. Both of these databases, the storage changes. DevDB stored under OS file system and a TestDB is a ASM file system. That's what you can see one extra ASM here. In this DevDB, you don't see that ASM. So I can quickly connect to that both the databases. DevDB. Select name from Vidaler. Again, I'll explain in our regular classes what is this data file, what is query. And this is my file system, OS file system. If I go to CD into that one, ls-l, I can
Hello?
see all the data files here,
हाँ बोला ही
right? So that is your standalone DevDB database. The file systems are all stored under OS file system. The database files are stored under that OS file system. Whereas TestDB again standalone, which is stored under ASM. ASM meaning automatic storage management. This is a storage provided by Oracle. So if I connect to the TestDB database and see database storage, select name from Vidaler database. So this is the TestDB. Same thing here. Database is a DevDB. This is the DevDB and database is stored under my OS file system. Whereas here on the test database, I'm going to run the same command. So same system, sysocs, undo user. We'll discuss this data file in our regular classes. But if you see, it start from the plus data. Whereas here, it start from the slash. Anything start from the slash, that's a OS file system. It may be SAN, NAS, or any storage, any OS storage. But anything start from this plus, that's your ASM. If you try to go to that location, CD, it's not going to work out. Because this is not the OS file system. This is your ASM file system. You have to connect to ASM for that. Right? Let's say you have to connect to ASM first. I'm going to run this .env plus ASM. So you have to use ASM cmd-p. You're going to go into your ASM command line and you have to cd into that one now. Now it's going to go into plus data testdb data file. You do lsfnl and you can see all the data files here. So that's the only difference. We have Oracle Lab 1, Oracle Lab 2, where my DB is a standalone database running under OS file system. In Oracle Lab 2, TestDB running under ASM file system. Both are standalone and only the matter of where the database is stored. Your DB instance running under that Oracle Lab 1, TestDB instance running under Oracle Lab 2, both are standalone instance. The respective database is stored under OS file system and ASM file system. So because of these two file system, we have two types of databases in standalone. One is standalone without ASM and other one is standalone with ASM. So we call it as a single instance. We call it as a Oracle restart. Right, so this name came here. You call it as this one single instance or Oracle restart. Standalone without ASM, standalone with ASM, both are called as a single instance or the standalone database. And with ASM, we call it as a Oracle restart. Why? Because of restart capability. Meaning, let's say here, bs-ef grep smon. So I'm going to kill this instance. This is the OS command, killing the instance. So meaning this instance is getting crashed now. This instance is getting crashed now. Or this Linux server you can reboot. You do whatever, either kill the instance or reboot the server. Right? Your testdb instance killed. And wait for a few seconds. And the moment your ASM see testdb instance was killed or down, automatically it will bring that database back online. And then I'm able to connect back to my database. So that's where we call it as a Oracle restart. Oracle restart meaning ASM is able to bring that database instance back online whenever there is an instance killed or instance crashed. Whereas in this without ASM, DB, so I'm going to kill this one now. Kill -9. So your DB instance is down. So you can wait for 1 hour, 2 hour, 1 day, 2 day, 1 year. Your database instance will never come online. That's one of the drawback without ASM. Whenever there's an instance crash happens, A DBA manually has to start that instance. Let's say it will be connected to idle instance, nothing is running. You have to do every day whenever there's a crash happens, DBA has to connect and you have to do start manually. Whereas standalone with ASM, it's called Oracle restart. Restart meaning whenever there's instance crash happens, automatically it will be get started. We no need to worry. Let's say in the midnight, your Oracle Lab 1 server got rebooted. Oracle Lab 2 server got rebooted. Because of some hardware issue or because of some data center issue, my both the servers are restarted, rebooted. The moment you reboot the server, your DevDB instance will be down and it will be never be started automatically. You have to get up in the midnight and then start the database automatically. Or manually you have to start the database. Whereas Oracle Lab 2, when you reboot the server, automatically your ASM will come online. Once your ASM comes online, and it automatically brings your database online. You no need to start the database manually. It will be handled by your ASM only. Right? So that is a standalone database. In that standalone, you can see these two types of databases.
Hi, Malika.
Yep.
How does Oracle restart happen? In the sense, in rack we have startup sequence, right? Even in for standalone with ASM also applicable that startup sequence for that.
No.
Due to that reason only Oracle restart happening, or how is that?
Again we'll discuss in our actual classes. To answer to your questions, we have OHASD, followed by you have ASM, followed by you have database instance. So your database instance is down, your ASM will restart them. Your ASM is down, your OHSD will restart that. Your OHSD is down, your OS will restart that OHSD. Right? This is your simple understanding. You have a 3 hierarchy in this lab 2, OHSD, on top of that ASM, on top of that database. All right. In case of rack as I said, it's a multiple instance, one single database. So for that multiple instance, you need to have rack cluster, a 2-node, 3-node server. So right now here I have node 1 and then I have node 2. We have 2-node rack, real application cluster, where you can see so many databases we created here. I can take just one database, CDBDB. We have SRVCTL, status, database -d, a CDB database. Again, this is the advanced rack course, but I just want to inform this for a demonstration here. We have CDB DB instance 1. We have CDB DB instance 2 running under this node 1. That's the Linux server 1, Linux server 2. So right now we have a 2-node. We don't have this 3rd node. The user can connect here and user can connect over here. So that is rack database. So you can see one more command, srvctl config database. That will tell you a type of database here, rack. That's a one type of database, rack database. And the other one, let's say like node 1 ps-ef grep smon. So we have this CDB DB instance 1 running under this node 1. If I go to second node, ps-ef grep smon, we have this CDB DB instance 2 running under node 2. Because of that, we can see this CDB instance 1, instance 2 running on node 1 and node 2. That's a rack database. Type is rack. And if you observe here, we have rack 1 node underscore 1, and then I don't have that rack 1 node underscore 2. So if I see here, -d for this database, and the status, right, srctl status database -d rack 1 node, instance rack 1 node is running on node 1, online relocation failed, source instance rack 1 node underscore 2 on second node. So let's say this is nothing, this is the information, I just remove this one. So instance rack 1 node is running under node 1, only one node. So if I do config for this database, srctl config, it says type rack 1 node. So again, in this rack, we have two types of database. One is rack database and other one is rack 1 node database. Like the difference between that is, let's say I have two servers, Linux server 1, Linux server 2. Here CDB database instance 1 is running here, CDB database instance running 2 here. On both the server, both the instance will be running. In case of rack 1 node, let's say you have rack underscore 1, rack underscore 2. So in case of rack database, both the instance will be up and running on both the servers. In case of rack 1 node, only one instance will be up and running. Let's say rack underscore 1 will be up and running. If this goes down, automatically this rack underscore 2 will be up. Any one instance will be up and running in case of rack 1 node. So both rack database and rack 1 node database needs a cluster setup, 2 node, 3 node, 4 node rack cluster setup. And on top of that rack cluster setup, you can configure your database, either rack database or rack 1 node database. So that is the different types of databases, a standalone versus rack. In case of rack, we'll be having a rack database and rack 1 node database. So this is a totally a new course, rack course. We'll be covering these two types of database and maintenance administration of these databases. In case of this DBA course, standalone, which are the two types of databases, standalone with ASM and standalone without ASM. In this particular database course, we'll be covering these two types of databases over here. So in general, anyone ask you what are the different types of database in Oracle? Two types, standalone and rack, and both the standalone and rack respectively have a different configuration. Standalone has standalone with ASM and standalone without ASM, and rack has a rack database and rack 1 node database. All right.
Malik, but using a rack 1 node, later we can convert to multiple node, right?
Right.
Am I
You
right?
can convert rack database to rack 1 node, rack 1 node to rack database.
Okay.
All are
When
supported.
using Oracle Restore, we can convert, right? To conversion from standalone to rack, right?
Oracle?
Oracle Restore. Suppose if I configure Oracle Restore, can I convert to rack?
Yeah, first you have to set up a rack. Right now, it's only one server.
Okay.
In order to do a rack, you have to first have a rack setup, cluster setup you have to do. 2 node or 3 node cluster setup you have to do. Later, you have to convert the database.
Oh.
Right now, it has only one. You have to have one more server.
That will also cover in the our chapter, right?
In the rack.
If it is rack, yeah.
Yeah. That is here. If you go to if you go to rack training curriculum, we have a chapter number 22, converting single instance to rack. We have
Okay.
various
Okay.
methods, DBC, Enterprise Manager, rconfig, and manual method.
Okay.
You can use any one of that. That's part of the rack course.
Thank you. Thanks.
All right. So I'll pause it here for today. We'll continue tomorrow. We'll go in deep understanding of each of these database, how the connection work, how the user is going to connect, and how the instance connection works, how the load balancing, how the failover, how the instance architecture, how the database architecture, what is the memory structure, SGA, PGA, background process, and the TNS connections. So all we'll explore in tomorrow's demo sessions. So I'll take a pause here if anyone has any questions before we wind it up for today.
Oracle, I mean, standalone with ASM, Oracle Restart, and Oracle Rack one node. Overview, like a high level, can you tell me what is the difference? Like in the sense, standalone also with ASM means is for ASM we have been configuring, right? Here rack one node database means again standalone one database only will be there. Here also
In order
rack one.
to do rack one node, you have to first set up a rack cluster. 2 node or 3 node or 4 node rack cluster.
Okay.
And then your instance will be running in any one of the node. So in simple definition, what you are comparing, standalone with ASM, instance is running under one server and which is available on ASM. Here also in rack one node, only one instance is running and which is running under ASM. That is comparison same. But in order to a rack one node, you should first have a rack setup, the cluster setup. 2 node cluster, 3 node cluster, 4 node cluster. Then only you can make rack one node. In order to do this standalone with ASM, you don't need a rack cluster. One single server is enough. And your database will run over there.
What is the purpose of the rack one node? Actually,
Rack one node, let's say you have multiple databases and I don't want to interfere. Let's say I have a 4 node rack, my production database running over here. And along with that, my reporting database is running. Reporting 1, reporting 2, reporting 3, reporting 4. Your production database is very, very critical and which is running in the rack mode. And this reporting database, there's no DML insert update delete operation, just for report run every day in evening. So why should I start my database on all the instances? So I can shut down my instances. I can convert that as a rack one node on the 4th node. Let's run my reporting query from node 1 so that I'll not use the resource from node 1, 2, 3. Completely these 3 servers are dedicated for my production database instance 1, 2, 3.
And what if the R4 goes down?
Automatically your R3 will start or R2 will start or R1 will start. Any one will
Okay,
get
any
started.
of the one.
Yeah.
Okay. Automatically?
Automatically.
Or-
Right, that is the use case, one of the use case you can think of. Any reporting database, I don't want to waste my resource on the other rack nodes. I'll start only one of the node and I can run my reporting queries over there. Otherwise, go for rack database.
Industry are still using rack one node?
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. Any more questions, guys? Before I wrap it up for today, we'll continue tomorrow further in the further discussion of our database architecture, background process, instance architecture, and SGA, PGA. We'll take few more basic topics for tomorrow. But for now, any questions on the course curriculum or the course structure or the fee structure or the timings, feel free to ask, or you can reach out to me on my cell number, and or else you can call me. I can guide you through further payment process or any further clarification. Yeah,
And
go ahead,
Malik?
somebody.
And Malik?
Yeah, go ahead one at a time.
Whether did you cover Oracle 21 also? How like
No.
because now the people now we slowly migrate to Oracle 21, so we're not
21
sure
is the
about it.
innovation release, and nobody will upgrade to 21. Oracle 19c is supported till 2027. 21c is supported for only 1 year. 21c is
Oh,
called the innovation release.
oh, okay, okay. So we have a year to for 3 years more, 21.
Your 19c is supported till 2027 or
Okay.
2028, and your 21c supported till 2024, because this is a called innovation release. They just release it for just innovation purpose. So the next longest support is your 23c AI, which is supported till 2030 or 31. So if you are planning for upgrading from 19c, people will go for 23c, which is supported till 30 or 31.
Okay. Is it people are it is already a market, right? 23A.
No, that's a beta.
Oh,
GA is
okay.
not available.
Okay. Okay, Malik.
All right, guys.
Hello, sir.
Yep.
Sir, it is okay to have a 8 GB RAM and 500 GB SSD to
No,
install
minimum we
that
need a
one.
10 GB RAM. SSD is fine. SSD we need 100 GB, but RAM should be of 10 GB.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Hello, Malik. I have last one question.
Yeah.
I am working as Oracle DBA from past 3 years. So I am not aware some topics like upgradation, patching. So is Oracle DBA training is sufficient for me to switch to other organization?
Yeah, definitely. I just covered those topics, right? Those all will be covered.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right.
Malik, one more thing. If I go for 32 GB RAM laptop, how many rack node we can able to create actually?
You
How
can
many
do
nodes?
4-node rack.
Oh, so each node, because system also will occupy some RAM, right? So
Right.
each node minimum how many RAM it's repair each node?
That's all dynamic allocation. So only that installation is the problem for you. When the
Oh,
installation is done, it will be dynamically used. So you
okay.
can run 4-node rack database or rack cluster without any issue with 32 GB RAM. But practice we do for only two node rack.
Okay. System won't hang, right?
No.
Thanks, man.
All right, guys. Let's wrap it up. We'll connect tomorrow. Thank you. Thanks everyone for joining. Let's wrap it up, guys. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.